Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're continuing in the Zera Shimshon. We're in Parshat Tetzaveh, where we know Parshat Tetzaveh discusses a lot, focuses mostly on the Big Day Kuhuna, the begodim of a regular Kohen, and the begodim of the Kohen Gadol. The Zera Shimshon in this piece is going to focus on two of the stones that are found in the Choshen. We know that the Choshen was placed on the chest of the Kohen Gadol, and it had 12 stones. Each stone corresponded to a different shevet. So the Zera Shimshon quotes a Gemara in Bava Basra. Says the Zera Shimshon Ois Daled Bava Basra Perikei, V'samti kadkoid shim soy sayach. I will make your walls. Now the word kadkoid means your armaments, your battles, the walls of Yerushalayim. That's what it's referring to in Yeshaya. And I will make it like the sun. Now the Gemara in Bava Basra says Chad Omar. One shita, one opinion says that it's referring that the walls will be made out of the same stones on the Choshen that's called Shoyham. The Chad Omar di Yoshve. The other one says that the stones will be made out of the stone called Yoshve. Omar Kadosh Baruch Hu. So Kadosh Baruch Hu said, Laheve keden lekeden. Let's make the walls from both stones, from Shoyham and Yoshve. Ad kan l'shoneh, that's the lashon of the Gemara of Bava Basra, where it discusses the walls of the future Beis Hamikdash by Shlishi, what the walls will be made out of. That's what the Navi Yeshaya discusses in that pasuk. So Tzarachian says the Zera Shimshon, why specifically these two stones were chosen to be the walls of Yerushalayim? That the walls of Yerushalayim would be made from these two stones. What are in these two stones that Hashem wants us to realize and to recognize as a message for us regarding the Bayis Shlishi? Lama dafka yiachamis me'elu hashtei avonim. Why specifically were the walls of Yerushalayim and the Beis Hamikdash made from these two avonim, which are called Shoyham and Yoshve? The Yerushalayim says the Zera Shimshon, based on the concept that every stone, as we mentioned in the Hakdama, is a reference, is an allusion to the shevet. Every shevet has its unique stone, and the stone had a connection to the shevet. So what shvatim were the stones Yoshbe and Shoyham? So the Zera Shimshon says these were referring to the shevets Yosef and Binyamin. The two stones of Yoshve and Shoyham correspond to the shevet Yosef and Binyamin. The cost of B'Sefer Shiltei HaGibarim, in the famous Sefer Shiltei HaGibarim, which discusses the Beis Hamikdash and its Kalov, Shahashoyam to Shoyam Yoel L'Schira V'Einayim. The Shoyam has a special property. Now we know that elements which make up gold, silver, rubies, diamonds, emeralds, all have what's called koiches, spiritual energy. How exactly this works, it's hard to understand, but you can understand from a magnet. A magnet has certain energy, so certain stones have certain koiches. The koyach that the Shoyham stone has, now some say it's emeralds, right? In Lashon HaKodesh it's called esmeralda, right? Which is emeralds. In Stam it's emeralds. There's a certain quality to that, and that helps l'schira v'lo einayim, and for one's eyes. V'hu toiv el ha'asher. It's also good. It's a skula that a person should become wealthy. It could be Parshat because it's an expensive stone, but it seems to be that there's a certain koyach in it that helps an individual become wealthy. V'hu melamed l'shoyn adam, and it helps people to lahalitz, to give good advice, uledaber b'chochma, to speak with wisdom, with chachma, right? One of the best qualities that a person can have is if he's a chacham, right? If he's a chacham, he can really answer questions. Now, it could be that ability that the stone gives to an individual is what helps him become an oisher. It's hard to know, but it seems to be that is the connection. And we're going to see that this is connected to Yosef, who had all of these qualities. Lahavin hachidos and alamas. It also helps to understand certain sharp ideas that are hidden, right? Many ideas, it's hard for us to understand because they're hidden. You need a real person who is sharp, as they say, sharp like a tack, or wicked smart to be able to understand certain concepts. The stone has the ability to bring a person to Nevuah. This stone was given to Yosef. He had good eyes. Now it could be because it was Shmir Sanaim, could be he looked at good things, as it says in the pasuk Ben Parat Yosef Ben Parat Ale Ayin. Now the Parshat Pshat is that this Yosef, the children of Yosef, do not have ayin hara. But the Zera Shimshon says, based on the Shiltei HaGiborim, that it's also Ali Ayin, they know how to watch their eyes. V'hoyel Eschira, and he also had good memory. Kediksiv, by Yizkor Yosef, the Pasuk says that Yosef remembered. Upnei Shoy Chacham Bal Halotza. Yosef was also a very wise person who gave sound advice. He gave good advice to the Sahar Mashkin. And we know he gave great advice to Paro, even though it was based on Ruach HaKodesh, but Lamaisi, he was the channel, the tzinor, to give good advice. But Pisar HaChaloim, when he was able to explain the Chaloim, to translate the Chaloim to Paro, V'netzna by Ruach HaKodesh, and he also had like a spark of Ruach HaKodesh. Kediksiv Achri Adio Ikim. Paro said, after HaKadosh Baruch Hu told you what to do, is there anybody as wise and sharp as Yosef? So you see, says the Zera Shimshon, that this stone, Shoyam, has the same qualities as Yosef. That's why Shoyam was the stone chosen to represent the Shevet Yosef. Ad kan l'shona. Very nice. So that's the Shiltei HaGiborim, where the Shiltei HaGiborim explains why the stone was specifically chosen to represent Shevet Yosef. As we explained, it had all the same qualities and the same koiches that Yosef had. Therefore, based on this idea, in order to hint to us that in the future the whole world will be Malay Haaretz De'as Hashem, the whole world will know Hashem. There will no more be hidden. Nothing will be hidden. Everybody will know everything about Hashem, not just on a simple level, but even on a Kabbalistic level, right? Part of Kabbalah is to understand how Hashem runs the world. The word Deya is always referred to also a higher level of Chachma. V'atzlacha Rabba, and people have great success. There will be no more mania of having parnasa, right? We won't have the curse. B'zeh sapecha toichlu lachem, right? When HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world, everything was supposed to come out from the ground. It was supposed to be very easy. But because of the aver of Yosef of Adam Rishon, we were cursed. But somebody who has the qualities of Yosef, who has the stone, is an oisha. And that is the hint that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling us that in the future there will be Ashirus, Uschir Toiva, and therefore, in order for us to remember, Yu HaChoimes Mishoyam, the Choimes will be made of Shoyam. Uman Amar Yoshpei, and the opinion that says that the stones of Yerushalayim would be made from the stone called Yoshpei. Now it's not clear exactly what stone is Yoshpei. Hainu Masha Kosef Harav, based on the Shiltei HaGiborim's explanation, Shehayoshpei Sugulosoi Lishmar Odom. The Yoshpei stone has a beautiful quality, is a beautiful koyach to watch a person. They will not give him poison. Now, it's not 100% clear to me, is it that they won't give him poison at all, or the poison won't have effect on him. But either way, he will be saved from death. The Nitan LeBinyamin, and this stone was given to represent Shevet Binyamin, Lisker Loy, that he should always remember, to remind him that because of his mother, he was born alive. The effects that Rachel had, the curse from Yaakov, did not pass on to Binyamin. As we know that Rachel Imenu went to the next world and gave birth to Binyamin. Now, if you think about it, since Binyamin was a chelik of Rachel Imenu, it could have been that he would have gotten the same curse that she got. But because Binyamin had a special koyach, which was represented in the stone Shoyam, he was protected from this misa. V'oid isu b'yalkut. Al pasuk as it said, uben keseifa shochen, that the parts of the kelim will be between the shoulders of the Kohen Gadol, and also the Beis HaMikdash will be in the chelik of Binyamin, which is like the shoulders of a person. Why was Binyamin Zoicha that the Beis HaMikdash should be built on his land? The Zera Shimshon says an unbelievable idea, and we really have to be maimik in this idea tremendously. He says that it wouldn't be possible to build the Beis HaMikdash in the lands of the other Shvatim. Why? Because since the other Shvatim were in the idea of selling Yosef HaTzadik, except for Binyamin, so it would be not proper for us to go to their lands and daven for Rachmanis. Right? Part of the things that we go to the Beis HaMikdash is we daven for Rachman, that Hashem should have Rachman. So it doesn't make sense, says the Zera Shimshon, that we should go to the Beis HaMikdash, which was built in the other Shvatim, and to be mispal Hashem Yerachim Alav, Aleinu, right? if the Shvatim themselves didn't have Rachmanis and Yosef. And Hashem wouldn't answer. There would be a kitrig. The only person that was not involved was Binyamin. So therefore it was appropriate to go to build the Beis HaMikdash in Binyamin's land, which would allow us to daven for Rachmanis. That's why the Chachamim always teach us, and there's a famous Rashi by Moshe Rabbeinu, we always daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for a matnas chinam. Hashem, we don't deserve anything from you. We don't deserve Rachmanis, we don't deserve Chesed, we deserve nothing. We're asking from a matnas chinam. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you have the ability to give whatever you want, because you're the king. And you can give us a matnas chinam, which means even though we don't deserve it. So too, over here, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I want you to daven for Rachmanis. I want you to daven to have Rachamim. That's why we bring the Karbanis. And to do that on the other Shvatim's lands would not be appropriate. Or maybe say it in a different way, that Yerushalayim should have been given to the other Shvatim would not be appropriate. Right? Because the Beis HaMikdash was supposed to be in Yerushalayim by the Harabais. It was specifically given to Binyamin because he would not have no kitrig on him. The mashma yeshpeh. The Zera Shimshon says a beautiful diak. He says the word yoshpeh, the diamond, the stone called yoshpeh, is an abbreviation of the words yeshpeh, that Binyamin has a mouth to speak to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that is hinted in the stone yeshpeh. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Amar lehevi keden keden. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, I hear both opinions. Just to review quickly, there was a machloikis in Bava Basra, which stone would the walls of the Beis HaMikdash be built. One opinion said Yoshpei, which is the stone of Binyamin. The other opinion said Shoyham, which is the stone of Yosef HaTzadik. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, let's do both. We'll build the stone, build the walls out of both stones. Why? Because both stones, as we said, are representative of the Shvatim Yosef and Binyamin, who come from Rachel Imenu. The Rachel, he hamamenes lisnachem, she refuses to be consoled. She does not want to hear from HaKadosh Baruch Hu any nechama, only that HaKadosh Baruch that will be goyal Klal Yisrael. Because of Arimer, Alniya Soyara, V'loy Nuchama. Alniya Soyara is like a boat that's in a turbulence, in a city that's a turbulence, is a reference to Rachel Imenu. She's turbulent because Klal Yisrael is not back in the Beis HaMikdash, is not rebuilt. V'loy Nuchama, she will not be nachem. Rachel Imenu does not want to hear anything. She only wants to hear that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is bringing the Gula. The Samti Kad Koden. Therefore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to Kaviyachol, remind us this idea that she's not accepting Tanchumim. Rather, she's constantly davening that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should bring us out of Galus. I want to build the stones from these two stones. I want to build the walls from these two stones in order to remember that we should remind us that you were the ones that were not be ready to be Menachem. And you were the ones that through you I brought the Geula. So why are the walls called Shimshon? We know that the sun, everybody goes to the sun. The sun has healthy properties. Everybody enjoys the sun. Everybody enjoys being outside. The sun is important for helping things grow, helping things heal. So too says the Zera Shimshon that also HaKadosh Baruch Hu Lasos, that the walls of Yerushalayim will also be made out of Shemesh, because the entire world will come to Yerushalayim in order to be able to benefit from the greatness, from the Kedusha, from the holiness that the wall has, and that will also benefit the Goyim. And therefore, as it says in Yeshayahu, V'holchu Goyim lo'oirech u'malachim, that they will go to the Hoylech, they will go to the walls of Yerushalayim in order to benefit from the light. So, the Shimshon explains that HaKadosh Baruch Hu specifically built the walls of Yerushalayim, of the Bayit Shlishi, with these two stones to remind us of Yosef and Binyamin, which is also a representative to remind Klal Yisrael that the reason that we were nigal was because Rachel Imenu refused to hear any nechama from Hashem. I don't want to hear that things will be good, said Rachel Imenu. I don't want to hear now that I'm going to save them. I'm not able to be menachem, until HaKadosh Baruch Hu is nigal Klal Yisrael. And we should be zoicha that not only we should be zoicha to the schools of the stones of the Shoyam and the Yoshpei, but we should be zoicha to the ultimate Geula, and we should be zoicha to see the ultimate nechama for Rachel Imenu and for Gans Klal Yisrael. Amen.